Hi, my name is Tyzer Sadler. I'm currently a junior at Duke University, and I study public policy, computer science, and philosophy. Okay, no problem. When you're writing any professional email, I think the best thing to do, always understand the tone and basically the small intangibles. And what I mean by intangibles, I'm talking about your mood when you're writing it. I'm talking about the the word choices that you use. For example, when you start off, a lot of people tend to use dear, and while dear is fine in its own right, we're talking about the business world, professional. You want to use, at least for me, preferential choice is to use, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. This doesn't, it's neither too friendly, but it's neither too cold because you're not using something like to whom this may concern because you know who you're speaking to, and you're not using dear because they don't know you on that friendly level, and it's always nice to respect the boundaries between you being a student, a potential employee versus like your employer, so on and so forth. When you're actually creating the email, you definitely want to establish some common ground, right? If this person and you haven't met yet, or that you've only met, one time, and you're just now emailing them, chances are that they're probably very busy and they don't have a good memory of you. And that's not to knock, your own personal self impression, but just realize, when we're working in the business world, the top executives or even the people who you want to vouch on your behalf, they're always moving around. So you definitely want to say, oh, hey, I remember that I went to this conference and I saw you here, or we had a discussion about this. Now you have the person primed towards that memory, and now they're thinking, oh, wait, maybe I do remember this person. Let me see what they're talking about. Then you want to lead into, what you're asking for, right? And they've done it in a way that's polite and respectful. And um, I think how you would want to end that email off is to say, obviously, thank you for your time and consideration because that's what this is all about. People are taking yes, people take the time to read your email, but they also, if you're making a request, right, they are taking it into consideration because they do have other priorities. And so I think it's always nice to show gratitude. We always do that a lot with any interviews that you may come into, right? If you were to interview me, right, and I went back home and I never sent you an email, but someone else did send you an email, what's going to make the stronger impression? Right? The person who said, thank you for taking the time out of your day to interview me. And this is I don't know if this is, how it's done in South Korea, but this is what's preached over and over in America. And so, once you end that gratitude part off, what's your ending salutation? Kind regards, best wishes. I think any of that can fit. And yeah, I mean that's basically how you make the perfect professional email. Obviously, if they don't reply right away, in the sense of like 2 or 3 days, even a week after, you definitely want to check in. Don't be too pushy, right? You don't want to come off aggressive because once again, this is the person taking their time out of the day to see you. So just say, "Oh, I sent you an email earlier. Perhaps you may have not have gotten it." Um, and then like restate your question, your proposal, so on and so forth, and then the email off there. And that's basically how you do an email.